Hey guys, welcome to A Good Library and welcome to this very first video on our new series on Indian literature. This is my notebook. Yes, I do like my digital notebooks. Anyway, so this is my personal notebook that I will be learning out loud or revising it here on YouTube. Hope you don't mind. And also, I very sincerely hope that this series will help you also to revise your concepts or knowledge for whatever exam that you are preparing. And for those of you who are studying philosophy, just for the sheer love of the subject, well, you and I are gonna get along very well in the future. So let's get started. Look, I have a confession. Not a confession, but I have something to share here. Ever since I started studying Indian philosophy, actually, philosophy for that matter, but especially Indian philosophy, it's like I have found this friend, not just any friend, but a friend that we all have in real life, sometimes frustrating, annoying, irritating, but sometimes very motivating, very caring, very trustworthy. And it has always been there. This is a friend who sticks around, who will, never leave you stranded in any tough situation. And this friend is always ready to drop a nugget of wisdom when you need it. So it's just wild how a bunch of old ideas, so old, so ancient ideas, can make you feel so alive and so present in your daily life in this 21st century. So I genuinely hope that you also get to experience this, or you might have already had this experience. And if that is the case, I am so very happy for you, because it's not just about learning philosophy, it's about the friendship that we create with the subject. And this is the subject that wants to become our friend. I don't know about other subjects, but philosophy is definitely that subject. And what is the coolest thing that Indian philosophy, or maybe any philosophy for that matter, has revealed to me or anybody who studies it is it it teaches you to be a spectator in your own life. It makes you step back. It makes you watch things unfold without without making you jump in, or without making you pick sides, without having you make judgments. So it's not about choosing a religion, it's not about choosing a tribe, it's not about making one religion sound good or another tribe sound bad or something like that. It's not that. It's like you are in this spaceship and you are looking down at earth, and you are a spectator. Whatever is happening on earth, you are an outsider. You are just watching, you are just analyzing, you are just making notes of what is happening. You are just trying to understand, why is it happening, why are um, certain people or certain things are uh, acting the way they are acting. So that part of course is followed by psychology, but again psychology has emerged from philosophy. So all of these things again come back to philosophy. And you are in this spaceship, you are an alien here who is trying to understand the entire humankind. Here you are trying to understand Christianity, you are trying to understand um, feminism, you are trying to understand structuralism. So you are not on anybody's side. In fact, you are on the side of everybody. And at the same time, you are not picking any biases. Um, you are not up for any drama. You are just, the way of watching quietly but closely can change how you feel about yourself, about the world. And you get less caught up in drama, you are more steady, you are more free, and you feel more liberated. So you will be questioning yourself that why doesn't everybody else, every person in the whole world is doing this. That is the question that will come to your mind. Anyway, I have already talked a bit too much, so let's keep going, shall we? So anyway, uh, consider me your friend, your classmate, and whenever you watch this video, you should always think that you and I were sitting in a college library or maybe a cozy cafe with the smell of coffee in the air, and we are just chatting, and I'm showing you my notes, and we are talking, we are having this thought experiments, and discussing this wild and wonderful tangle that is Indian philosophy, or whatever the topic of that book is. So here is the thing. Let's do one for that matter. Here is the thing. Most people around the world grow up hearing about these three big Abrahamic religions, right? There is Judaism, there is Christianity, and there is Islam, right? So they are like three strong branches of one big tree, one big sturdy tree. But what ties them together? The idea of one all powerful God, right? The sense that their path is the absolute truth, the struggle between good and evil. So here things are clear cut. It's in a very basic way, it is like saying, okay, so here is the rule book. You read it, you follow it, and you are golden. Either you are in or you are out. But now let's come back to India. Okay? In India, it's crazy, it's vibrant, and there is no one single tree. There is a whole forest of ideas. So people here have been searching not just for truth but also for the freedom, the moksha, the ultimate liberation, right? So India is not in Indian philosophy. There is no one rule book. That um, there is no black or white. There is all sorts of shades of gray. There are all shades of gray. There are no neatly defined boxes. There are no clearly defined boundaries that where it begins. There is no rule book, and that's what makes Indian philosophy maybe so uh, I don't know, it makes it appear like a beautiful friend, that it is a tangled web of all the schools that were growing together when they started growing in India. So maybe that's what makes it more interesting. What do you think? Please let me know what do you think. Let's move ahead then. So, before I actually get into the subject, these are the resources that I have used for my studies. There are so many more available on Amazon, but these are the ones that I have and I absolutely love. So, I will tell you the process I follow. First, I'm sorry, an Introduction to Indian Philosophy by Satish Chandra Chatterjee and Dhirendra Mohan Datta. So it is my entry point, okay? Whenever I study a topic, I dive into this book first. So it's clear, it's concise, the language is quite easier than other books. I'm not saying it's very simple, but it's quite easy to understand. If you are reading a philosophy book for the first time, maybe this is the book I will recommend you to pick up. And there is no fluff, it's very to the point explanation. So this is the first one for me. Second one for me is Indian Philosophy by none other than Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. a philosopher and our former president, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan himself, and I'm in love with the flowery language that he has used. It is actually, I would say, more of a historical document than a textbook, because the information is very heavy and dense. This book needs a little getting used to, but it's amazing to solidify your understanding of the topic. And um if you love reading flowery language, or it definitely takes time to finish reading this, but once you get used to it, it's very amazing, it's very good. And the fact that Dr. Radhakrishnan uh, wrote this book, I don't know, it just uh, humbles me a lot. So okay, so the third one is one of is it's actually not one of, it's my absolute favorite, A History of Indian Philosophy by Professor S.N. Dasgupta. He was a professor of Sanskrit and philosophy, and he was a philosopher himself. This book is epic, the ultimate textbook, the Bible, I will say. So, if you want only one book for your philosophy studies, this will be it. And what I love the most is that you can feel how devoted and how proud Professor Dasgupta was for Indian philosophy right from chapter 1. And trust me, it is not an easy read. Sentences are very long, very convoluted, language is hard to follow, but overall, I would never finish any topic without reading it from this book at least once. And trust me, it you will never understand. At least I did not understand. I never understood any topic by reading it only once. Philosophy is that subject where you'll have to read a bunch of times to understand what the philosopher is saying. So yeah, again, trust me, it takes ages to read, and I often end up reading it again and again. But yes, this is the ultimate textbook. And the fourth one is basically a simple textbook. It's short, it's simple, easy to understand, to the point. And I use it at the fourth step to cap it off, for revision, for final overview, and stuff. So, this was about the resources used to create this notebook, and some introductory part about what I love about Indian philosophy. And uh, I want I also want your opinion, your perspectives from your angle, why you like Indian philosophy, and why would you want to listen to your classmate sharing their notes, learning out loud. So we'll talk about contemporary Indian philosophy resources once we get there, because they are also a part of this notebook, but these are for classical philosophy for now. And in addition to books, there are such useful resources available on internet, especially like insight. There is encyclopedia by multiple great universities across the world, and you can use those also. There are there are AI available, which will also help you a lot. But again, reading the writings of philosopher himself would or herself would be immensely useful if you get through this. So let's meet in the next one. Have a great day.